replacement bus service for words I dread to see turns this little jolly into an epic odyssey. It near triples the journey time, but is it cheaper? No. And the chaos at the station makes for an absolute shit show. If we had been sensible, then we would have checked ahead. Looks like it'll be the small hours now before we're back at home in bed. This was meant to be an easy jaunt, we were supposed to get there fast. But with all the hassle, I'm wishing we had not been asked. Well, folks, Thomas Benjamin Wilde Esquire here with song number 47 of my Song a Week project. This one was inspired actually last weekend by a trip that I had to London. It's technically only supposed to take about an hour, but with rail replacement bus service took closer to 2.5, which was rather frustrating. I was doing a show in London for what technically should be a very easy show to get to. It took me over twice as long because I had to get a rail replacement bus service in Hitchin. And it always seems to happen when I haven't planned ahead properly. Because going from Bedford to London is a fairly easy journey. It's one that I've been doing since I was 16. And I just make assumptions about it. I assume that it's going to be running fine. There's going to be plenty of trains. I've got quite lazy with that. So whereas other train journeys I tend to plan ahead for, if I'm going into London and only into London, I don't tend to do much planning. I just assume I can go along to the train station, hop on a train. It taught me a lesson that I do need to plan ahead with these kind of things. So yes, that's what inspired this. Always seems to be on a Friday or a Saturday, and you end up getting back at home for about 2:30. And it's happened all the way through my life as well, but at random points, never when I'm expecting it to. So yes, that's what this song was about. Feel free to share your experiences of rail replacement bus services with me in the comments below. Remember, your comments and questions make these videos a lot more interesting than me just rambling on. I played this on my Flight Soprano Ukulele, details of which can be found in the description below the video. So last week's song was Stuck on Social Media, which was about the frustrations of being a creator and an artist in a social media world. And I have a love-hate relationship with social media, really, because, I mean, it gave me my start, and I can't really complain about that. Doing these social media videos has kind of allowed me to move away from a career in education to a career in music. So I am incredibly grateful for that. However, it becomes increasingly frustrating when things change without you knowing about it. I was having a conversation today. We were talking about social media algorithms and that kind of thing. And I don't think today my song would have been picked up in the way that it had been back in 2019. I don't necessarily think that kind of things work in the same way anymore. I don't know how they work now. I seem to be riding on that back then. But it just seems to be kind of very hit and miss at the moment. So while I'm very grateful to social media for giving me the platform that I've got and for giving me the career that I'm now in, it gets increasingly frustrating, and it does feel like things are changing, not for the better. I don't know if anybody else gets that feeling as well. But definitely as a creator, it's becoming harder and harder to have your voice heard, to get your stuff out there. And it does feel like there are barriers being put in the way constantly and changes made. And you feel like it's a full-time job having to keep on top of all of those changes. Whereas actually I just want to write songs. And the great thing is that, you know, these songs work really nicely on social media. Kind of short form content does. But I do feel for my friends that do longer form music, because I think they struggle a lot more to get their work out there. But yes, so I thought I'd add that in there. I'm not complaining. I'm very grateful for my social media audience, and I know that it allows people to be able to view videos and view kind of my work across the world who can't necessarily come to live shows. So I am very grateful for that. I just want to put that out there before anyone makes any assumptions about me being kind of just a little bit grouchy about social media. Because I realise I am very lucky in that respect. But it doesn't stop it being frustrating. As always, thanks for your comments for last week's video. I'm going to read some of them out now and answer some of your questions. So Sergeant Bouchery says, if I can buy music and merch directly from the band artist, but it is surprising how many artists don't do that. Okay, yeah, no, absolutely. That kind of people just put stuff through social media. The other options for me is Bandcamp and buying the CD from a store. I don't remember the last time I bought from Apple, Amazon and similar services. That's not to knock those similar services, because I know people pay subscriptions on those, and I do get money. I'm one of the lucky few that gets money through those services. But yes, I sell CDs. I mean, CDs aren't the best for the environment, but I actually do sell digital downloads through my own website as well. And Bandcamp's a great one because people get to keep much more of the money that comes through from that. Yeah, and Jack D23 says, I bought a couple of albums off Bandcamp and even have gotten a little note from the artists here and there in return. Would recommend. Yeah, absolutely. It's more personal on there as well. We see the direct sales and potentially can communicate with you directly. Same through my website. If you email me through that, then I'll email you back. Alec Hopkins 6545 says, attending a live show / concert is definitely an enjoyable atmosphere and a good night out. If I had a passport, that's one step to attending a show. Are you planning on doing any international shows? Not at the moment. I haven't got anything planned in. I'm not sure I want to come to the States at the moment, if I'm honest. But I'm very open to doing shows in Europe, Australia, Canada. But it's a case of having people reaching out and offering to organise those for me. Because, I mean, I struggle organising shows in the UK and I live here. So struggling organising. What I need is some promoter who really wants me to bring me across to the various different countries that will sort it all out for me. Because I wouldn't know where to begin really at all booking tours in other countries. So if you know anybody, send them my way. Teffa says, I just spotted the Spike Milligan book on your shelf. Yes. Which one's that? Oh yes, The Essential Spike Milligan. Various poems and verse in there. Now wondering who the bowler in the photograph is. Okay, so that bowler I'm assuming is the one up behind me up here. GB Rakes. I've absolutely no idea. I don't know anything about cricket. It was just quite a nice picture that we found in a charity shop. And it looks quite nice up on there. Terrible of me, I know. But yes, so GB Rakes, no idea. Look them up and tell me about them. I don't know. Some dude on YouTube says, question, that bee on the sofa, where is it from? I know I've seen it somewhere before. It drives me mad. You probably haven't seen it somewhere before because it's actually a friend of mine, Nick. His company decided to turn him into their mascot. So he works for a company called Perforce. And they decided to have a whole bunch of Nick bees created. We've got some badges and stickers and things like that as well from him. But he works in tech. And they decided to make him the mascot of the company. And it really does actually look like him as well. It really does look like our friend Nick. That's what the bee is in the background. I'm not sure if you've seen it before. I don't know if you've come across them before, potentially. But yes, that's Nick B. Mike Montaigne says, I was just listening to my set of your CDs the other day and was reminded I was curious about this. Is there a reason for the extended silence at the end of Pants Drunk on A Quiet Night In? Or is it just a mastering error? I wasn't aware that it was there, so it's probably just a mastering error. I don't know how long the pause. I'm going to have to go back and listen to that now. But I'll have a listen back to it. Nobody's pointed that out before. I'm going to go and listen to that now and check in there. But yes, probably a mastering error, I would say. Although I don't want to criticise the chap who does my mastering. But yeah, it's going to stay that way, I think. Nigel Aston 8640 says, social media can be a toxic experience and to a great extent I've cut down on the time I spend using it. Good idea. So have I. I'm on it professionally now. I try not to be on it too much socially. On an unconnected front, I've been trying to subscribe to your mailing list on your website, but nothing seems to happen when I click subscribe tab after filling in my details. Yeah, there was an issue with it. I've had it sorted out now. It's typical that issue kind of happens just after I've done a video promoting joining my mailing list and joining my Patreon. The mailing list goes down. I did get my web chap to have a look at it for me, and it is sorted out now, so you should be able to sign up through that now. And that goes for everybody else as well. If you want to join my mailing list, you can find the details below the video. Just a quick update on the shows I've got coming up over the next few months. On Saturday, the 22nd of March, I'm going to be at the Chapel at the Angel Microbrewery in Nottingham with my good friend Chris Taverner. Selling quite well, that one. So get in there quick if you want to come along to that show. On Friday, the 4th of April, I'm going to be in Manchester, again with Chris Taverner, at Gulliver's in the Northern Quarter. Be lovely to see you there. And on Friday the 18th of April, I will be in Shrewsbury at Albert Shed with the brilliant Mr. Professor Elemental, and Aubrey Blakelidge. That should be really good fun as well. It'd be lovely to see you at any of those shows. Details can be found in the link in the description. If you want to see these videos before anybody else, then you can join my Patreon community for as little as £3 a month. And access all kinds of other exclusive stuff, like seeing these videos first, but you also get MP3 downloads of all the songs as well as access to live videos and that kind of thing, early access to new recordings. Details can be found in the description as well. Sunday the 16th of March, so next Sunday, if you're watching this, when it goes out, is actually going to be a whole year of a song a week. I'm not sure what I'm going to do for it yet, because it's been a whole year, but I've had a few weeks off, if that makes sense. So I'll be on song 40. I think I've taken four weeks off for this project. I had always intended to get to a year. Technically, I'm not at a year properly until I've done another 4. But then also I did 6 songs for this project that I'd already written for the album, which I released in December. So technically there's still quite a few weeks left to go on this. But I will be kind of acknowledging the fact that it's been a year next week. I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet, but I'm hoping to do something a little bit special in this video. So if you can join me next week, it'd be wonderful. Details of the Flight ukuleles can be found in the description below the video as well. Thanks for watching this far. Until next time, stay safe and toodle pip.